Yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick demo of how I use this server set up remotely. Because most of the time I'm travelling about with this netbook, and we now have MiFi in this country. I heard all about that on your podcast. That uses our 3 network, connects to the network, and provides a Wi-Fi signal to transmit it. In actual fact, it doesn't work where I am at home. There's no signal where I live, but I'll do it through the router to give you the idea. So yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick demo of that. I'll screen capture it and show you how I use it. A couple of ways to remote access the server. Just the last thing to show you is I can also use this netbook as an Apple. It's a Hackintosh dual boot Windows. You can see the nice thing about the home server is it will create a time machine. So I have 2 time machines in effect, which are basically partitions on the home server. But that's the time machine for the netbook, and on the Apple, it also has a time machine, and it works on there, which is great to know that one unit. I think this is the advantage for perhaps somebody like Michael and Bill is that well, Bill, you've got one. One machine backs up all your computers, whether they be Apples, whether they be Windows, and it just does it in the background. It doesn't ask you if you want to do it, it just does it. And for me that's a godsend, the fact that I know that all my data is safe. The next stage is to go one further level of paranoia and have the stuff stored offline. But you know, I didn't have any backups at all before, so I was pretty exposed there. Now I've got a backup. Okay, so I'm slightly less exposed. Maybe the next thing is to store it all on a hard disk and store it at a friend's house or something like that. But there you go. Everything's covered.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to narrate over the top of this because couldn't pick up the audio when I did the screen capture. But I was going to give you an idea of this remote access. One of the ways I do it is Hamachi. It creates a sort of virtual, sort of tricks the computers into thinking they are networked on a local area network, so they behave in all the ways that they would do normally at home. So the console works, the shares are seen directly, you don't have any of the sort of remote access downloading and uploading files to do. I've blanked out that part of the Hamachi because I assume I don't want to be broadcasting IP addresses to other people, but that's what that's about. So yeah, Hamachi is a good way of just, if you're used to using a network in a particular way, you just get the same results with that. The other way is it's through a web interface. You basically get given an account that will broadcast your IP address and give it a web name, which I won't tell you. And you log on and you get this sort of home page, Media Smart Server home page, which is a sort of nice and easy way of seeing how you can get to things. Some of that stuff along the top I won't bother with. Really, you're going to be looking at remote access. So any computer on your network, at the moment it has to be Windows, but any Windows computer on your network that's switched on, you can remotely control, and you go to it through there. The other part is those file access, which I'll show you in a second. Media Streamer never worked. Photo Publisher publishes your pictures to Flickr and places like that, which we can all do that in other ways. This is the bit I'm going to show you. So this, the likelihood is you want to get hold of a file while you're on the road. And say I spend a lot of time out in the car visiting people and carry a netbook with me. So you click on there and then you get this sort of Windows home server login. And as I said before, you could give different usernames, different levels of access. This is my general remote access one, so I've actually given remote access its own user account. I was told that's a good way of doing it rather than use your normal account. And then you get to see all your shares, or the shares that you've been allowed to see anyway. So here's all the sort of shares that you saw before, and as you go into them, as if I clicked, it gives you a sort of Window Explorer-esque screen. It's not exactly the same as network that you are through, say, Hamachi or a local area, but they're the same files. And you see we're going to that Amdiga one, which is my work folder. And we should see in there, there it is, there's the AA simulcast folder that we used to sync earlier. And basically you just select the folder or the file, and then there's a download button. And if you're downloading something from the web, it gives you the same sort of interface and downloads it to your downloaded folder on your local machine. And I think Chris Oldroyd has tested this out because we swapped videos, and he downloaded one video file from my server, a little bit of a test really. I think it was of Kenny Powers, just to see if he was like my mate. There it is, downloads complete. We downloaded that file. So sorry I'm narrating this, so I'm probably waffling, but you'll have to excuse me. That's the remote desktop function. So desktop is my Dell machine that you can remote access. I don't think I've ever actually done this. So click on OK. Obviously I've blanked out some of the web addresses, so that's what the little bit of white square is about. You won't see that. And it should basically, you need to go back in with a user account that it knows of and has access to. It's all very, very secure. I found it quite difficult to get started in the early days until I'd taken the trouble to set up all the usernames and passwords. There you go, that is what is going on my desktop right now, because that's the video of this YouTube thing that I've posted. That's a screen capture. So that is my desktop. So from remotely I can access my home computers, I can look at them, I can print to them, I can upload file, download file. Basically, if I'm really strapped, I can get through it. And I just find that the whole thing is rock steady. So that web page, that sort of login page, that is always there. It just doesn't seem to fail. I think that I assume that's the sort of advantage of this server software, as opposed to just buying some sort of application that will let your computer do that. The other thing it was a brainwave to me, assuming I've got network access through this Hamachi setup. The fact that my iTunes streams from the shared account on the server, I assume you can stream from it over the internet to your netbook remotely. I never tested it, but obviously this sort of screenshot here isn't actually remote. I'm doing it on my local home network, but it's behaving in the same way. Yeah, I'll be interested to know if you can do it. Not that I particularly want to do it. I've got enough ways of getting hold of media and finding the time in the day to sit and watch stuff when you're out in the car is unlikely, but the fact that sort of proves the point that once these things are connected via Wi-Fi, you can basically treat them as two networked machines. So there you go, there's the HP server iTunes list. Okay, thank you. Well, this is one last little thing I had to do. I had to get rid of a particular podcast that was just bugging me. So there you go, bit of housekeeping. Keep your servers clean, I say. Thank you for watching.